Meet the Expert, a knowledge-sharing initiative of your knowledge partner, the Developing Bangladesh. We discuss on trade, investment, commerce, education, skills, economic development, global peace and prosperity, etc. issues. If you are interested to these issues, please subscribe to the channel. Developing Bangladesh, your knowledge partner, please subscribe now.
Next slide, please. Now you find that there are capacity builders. They build professional capitals, they value learning, they focus on helping others grow. And in focusing on letting others grow, they also grow themselves. They are committed to their own growth and development. Thereby, they foster the support of culture and collaboration. And that says learning never ends, both for the educational leader and for the people that are coming with him. He or she insists on learning. It never ends. And it is through this learning that never ends, and from everything, that the educational leader becomes a standard bearer, because he must get an idea, have an idea from everything around in order to improve learning. So the environment that nurtures, allows these educators to learn and share with each other the best practices. It has to have a learning environment that is conducive, peaceful, that is collaborative, a learning environment that ensures best practices, research, shares, and evaluation. Everything is done practically very well. Pedagogically, is the expert part of it. He brings to bear. He brings to bear also his experience. So an educational leader does all this, and he's a relationship crafter. He crafts relationships. He makes relationships. He goes out of its way in order to build relationship, and because it is the key to moving an organization. No personnel, no staff, no even the leader can stand alone in an organization. So he must build that relationship, no matter how difficult the people in that organization are. He believes in building people, influencing them, and he has to do a buy-in to the ownership of that organization. That is by building relationship, allowing people, please be part of this institution. And it's only when he has made people to buy into the ownership of the institution, the vision and everything, and what they are doing, the changes and what it brings to them, that a good relationship ensues. So the individuals' needs of their employers by this crafting or building relationships. Relationship is not just a question of, oh, you are my friend, I'm my friend. No, you have to make the person feel wanted, have a sense of belonging, warmth, care, like we have stated in all the books we showed earlier. It's part of what the educational leader does, without which the goals would not be achieved. So they approach each individual differently. Every individual is different from the other. So he focuses on building the culture of the organization and use the effectiveness of each individual. Every individual comes to an organization with an effectiveness pattern. There are places where individuals are strong in their talents, so he harnesses all of them and brings all those to achieve the culture of the organization, motivate them, and inspire them in order to achieve the goals. So not insisting that everybody must behave or walk the same way, knowing that they are from different backgrounds. Now, he's a systems thinker. They are expected to be able to work within the greater system to meet. System thinker means he thinks ahead of time, being a communicator. He knows he's going to communicate with everybody in the institution at the same time, and we are thinking and working outside and thinking outside the box. There are various problems that confront him, why he has to be a systems thinker. Whatever he thinks is with solution, finding solution to the institution. So, and at times he thinks within the box, at times outside the box. He's consistently and continually thinking how to get things done, how to change things, how to solve problems and challenges, how to further his learners, everybody, including all the education learners, to satisfy everybody. And doing that, he sees a big picture. He's not a narrow-minded person, and he communicates his vision so that others haven't thought that, he communicates it to others. He must be a communicator. All educators, educational leaders are communicators. That's the one important attribute that they have in being standard bearers. So as I conclude, there are, as we have said all along, they help to lead, support, and guide educators. They create programs. They ensure that outcomes, the goals that are set are met. And they communicate with families in making the institution's goals achieved, whatever they are in collaboration. So without a great support team, educators need great support team. And without such support team, to the educators, to rate programs, to having children, happy families or communities, not much will be achieved by the educational and training systems. That strong educational leader who is a bearer has to bring to bear the great support to give to all these stakeholders in education. So as in-person learning picks up, for instance, after the COVID, we know that the in-person education system, education strategy was less. People thought through the digital platform, but now many people have gone back to the in-person thing. And when you get to in-person, post-COVID, a whole lot of challenges are in our front. We face a whole lot of challenges from people whose parents died, or from people who had COVID, from people who no longer even had money to come back to school, and a whole lot of challenges. So they must be able to have a change of style. So this education is that as standard bearer, they must evaluate what has been the traditional method that used to be in our educational institutions before there was this pandemic lockdown, not to follow what there was before, because our learners may need help. There are social skills, there are soft skills that educational leaders need to introduce in order to enhance their standard bearing goals. So as standard bearer, educators, they may utilize, for instance, in order to get this done, the historic techniques like peer learning, group activities, to bring educational learners together. That's peer learning, mind to mind. Everybody learn together from yourself and look at their social skills and soft skills, encourage them. And this is the way that they can increase their standard bearing opportunities. So educational leaders, they need support from government. Being one group that makes the rest of the sectors of the economy of every country. Everybody passes through an educational leader, it passes through the education system, passes through an educator, teacher, counselor, and all that at some point in time or the other. Government must be able to support them. Government at all levels must be able to support them to positively impact the quality of education that is being provided and the developmental outcome that will be achieved by learners. So it's not just that they are standard bearers, they must be supported. And in order to support them, I leave a question to global educational stakeholders, governments, and everybody. Even in Bangladesh, I want them to also think about this, set them thinking. How are educational leaders supported as standard bearers in your country? You should set you thinking in order to improve the conditions so that they can do much better. I want to thank you all for listening. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Professor Uche Grace Emetarom. Actually, you have showed us what are the important roles an educational leader play in the society. He just not only teach our kids, the young professionals, he just bear a flag, like a flag bearer, a torch bearer, a leader, a motivator, a guide, a coach, a mentor. So all the roles an educational leader plays in the society. So you stop with a large and very significant question: how the government, how the society, how the state support an educational leader to be a standard bearer? It's obviously an important question, and this question should go to the top level of political leadership, those who are leading the countries as prime minister, presidents, and other important ministers, towards the bureaucrats, those who are leading the ministries as well as the government system, so that they can understand the importance of an educational leader as a standard bearer, whether he is getting all necessary supports, because a person or a community alone cannot change the whole world, cannot change the whole society. He must need our support from each end, because every stakeholder must support him to play his role effectively, efficiently, fruitfully. Then only can an educational leader can play the role of flag bearer, torch bearer, mentor, guide. Otherwise, he alone cannot have much impact. Obviously, thank you very much, ma'am. To summarize your discussion, you started with who are the educational leaders. You have presented, you have stated about their roles. They are attitude changer. They work for team building. They share knowledge. They develop skills. They are visionary leaders. They teach how to dream, how to be a visionary. So they also are persistent in their particular role, function. You have presented 2 or 3 American, few European educational leaders as they contributed in curriculum building and in reform in the education system, also introduction of their own educational system. And obviously, these are very important. You have said about organizational leadership, cultural leadership, political and community leadership, as well as curriculum change and other leaderships under educational leadership. You said that educational leaders, they not only teach, yes, they teach in the classroom, but they also inspire people to be future leaders. They inspire, they motivate, they empower. So they play a role of change, system changer, change in the system.
Developing Bangladesh, your knowledge partner. We take care of trade and investment, education and skills, economic diplomacy and economic development. If you would like to keep you updated on these issues, please subscribe to Developing Bangladesh. Thank you very much for watching till the last.